Ronald Reed is a painter, sculptor, and architect who has spent the past 3 decades exploring the intersections and relationships between built and natural environments. He has contemplated design and irrational design and their influences on the body politic and contemporary history. That sounds complicated. Born in Coeur, Alene in Idaho, he studied fine arts at Boise State University and architecture at the University of Idaho, where he received his Bachelor of Architecture in 1993. Ronald lived and worked in New York from 1996 to 2018 and then relocated with his family to Sag Harbor. Ronald Reed, thank you.
Thank you and good evening. So I'd like to thank Corinne and Terry for asking me to be here tonight. And I would like to thank Alexis Rockman, who selected me to be in this amazing group show. I'd like to introduce myself, my background, and what has influenced my work that is shown here at the Parrish. I was born, as Corinne had mentioned, I was born and raised in Idaho, which is part of the Northwest, not the Plains or Midwest or Iowa. I know that can be confusing to some. Just think of potatoes. Growing up in a dynamic landscape like the Rockies and the High Desert Plateau played an enormous role in shaping my view of how we should treat our planet. It also informed my approach to art, as you will see in the works here at the Parrish. I moved to New York City shortly after graduating art and architecture and wanted to pursue a career in architectural design and used my art as an incubator to help in designing environments in which we occupy. I never treated art and architecture as separate creative fields. I always liked the interweaving of the two and how both reflected the current culture and both have the ability to create experiential impact on the viewer and the occupant. My work reflects my concerns around politics, waste, reflection, history, and hypocrisy. From the way we deal with issues like the environment and social justice. For my assemblages, I tend to let my work be exploratory and spontaneous, letting the object take the lead in forming a narrative. Pieces like this one, Inferno from 1992, which is using Dante's Inferno to convey an idea of control and misinformation or use of propaganda in media. Here's an unfocused black and white television flickers amongst the layers of the Inferno's text. A more recent version is Education, 2017, is a commentary on the current educational system in the United States. My other works, such as paintings and sculptures, come from a more subconscious experience developed through sketches and drawings. This one, Worshipping Architecture from 1992, is dealing with architecture as a false religion. And we can talk about that more after the lecture. And then more recently, an untitled work from 2017. Here I use everyday material that normally is discarded to create an abstract landscape. I also work in large-scale canvases and started a series that incorporates discarded clothing and other materials along with acrylic and wax to create a more contextual abstract works. And all these are untitled at this point because usually what happens is I let the work speak to me at some point, and then they develop a title or they don't. And these are more larger works. This is a 68 by 80 piece that's more recent. It's mixed media on canvas. This also, it plays into the materialization of using literature and books, as you'll see in some of the works here, with other found objects and material. So this is a 48 by 68 on canvas. Again, another 48 by 68 mixed media project. And then mixed media canvas. This one you'll see is more open and illustrates the use of the discarded clothing material. And then this one has a title, Atticus Finch. It's more recent, it's 80 by 90. This piece actually has a layered combination of things that don't have anything to do with cloth. This has acrylic membrane and also discarded electrical wiring with acrylic and spray paint. Now, the series of work on display here at the Parrish are a continuation of these earlier explorations of waste, environmental, central relationships with history and change are the main themes. All these works I describe as abstract, as assemblages, are made of discarded objects, found material, human and nature-made. The books and texts are used to convey the space and language it inhabits. And the final work acknowledges our past while also exposes our present and future. They are juxtapositions of subject, object, and meaning. Like here, we have a precarious balance from 2017 is dealing with the ramifications of colonialization and a landscape that no longer exists. In this one, there's going to be two. This Boy Meets Girl and April Sweet April, both from 2016, and they're on display here. These pieces, for me, are more commentary on relationships between us as humans. Boy Meets Girl is more sexual love, and April Sweet April is more romantic love. In this piece, The History of Music from 2016 is made from a version of the Oxford Dictionary of Music from Volume 7. It represents knowledge and history of music in a state of purity. It also is about the way technology has changed the way we learn, how we listen to music, and how we obtain knowledge. I wanted to express change from the tactile to the technological and digital experience. And then finally, the other one that's on display here at the Parrish is the Beggar's Opera. It's a 2017 piece, and it's a commentary on elitism and corruption. And I don't know how many people know about the opera itself, but it was an opera satire. It was an English satire of an Italian opera from the 18th century. These are some assemblages I made after Alexis had selected my work to be shown here. And they're a continuation of work on the same line. This one is titled Yoke. It's 2019, and it references the drain of knowledge. It is a encyclopedia from 1847. And then this one, the final one that I'll show tonight, is a untitled work at this point. It is some found work that my son and I found on the beach. The piece in the middle, the found object piece, is a brick with a railroad tie stuck through the brick, and a book and wax. And then, just in short, I've been making art for about 35 years at this point, but I've never officially shown my work. So this is my first real show since I was in art school. It's here at the Parrish, and it's been a true honor. And I'd like to thank everybody here, and thank you very much for having me here tonight.